So we have seen all the stages of the Christian initiation of adults. Okay. Now we will see the exceptional situations or adaptations to exceptional situations. Adaptations. In this, we will be seeing 4 types of extraordinary celebrations. Okay, not ordinary celebrations. Ordinary celebration is what we have described till now. That is what we call as ordinary. That means a normal way of doing the things. Okay, usual. Now some extraordinary situations may demand certain compromises or certain modifications within the celebration of Christian initiation of adults. Such exceptional situations we are going to see. 4 exceptions are there. Okay, one is simple rite of initiation. Simple rite of initiation of adults. In this particular celebration, you see, there will not be a 3 years of catechumenate. Suppose that is not possible. Okay. In some situations, the candidate does not have that much time to afford, or else he had been in association with Christian life for quite some time, but never initiated fully. He is in know of the doctrines. Okay, maybe he might have been practicing also, once in a way at least coming to the church, and he is associated with Christian life, and now he decides to come, but he doesn't have time or patience to go through all these procedures. 3 years of procedure, full catechumenate, and then this one enrollment, then going through illumination period, then all the sacraments with big celebration. All those things suppose not possible. Okay, such extraordinary situations, a simple rite is provided by the church, whereby instead of the 3 years of full catechumenate, only that proximate preparation period is enough. Okay, proximate period is enough. In such situations, the all the ceremonies that you are supposed to do during the catechumenate, now you have to do it. The celebrant has to do. This is a intensive time of preparation. All that you are supposed to do during the catechumenate, now you have to do during this 40 days of time. And then local ordinary has to give some kind of a permission for this kind of situations. If not written, he should be satisfied that this person is mature enough to receive Christian initiation. Okay, he should satisfy himself, or he should satisfy the community, whereby that person will be granted the permission to receive Christian initiation. The local ordinary here in this case always need not be the bishop. Okay, in the parish priest himself, he should be fully aware that the person is ready to receive. Okay, and that 40 days of time or some time, okay, the rite will say some time of preparation, instruction. Need not be 3 years or strictly this 40 days or something like that. But some time of intensive preparation is required in this kind of cases, and all the 3 sacraments will be given to him. Okay, exceptional situations. A simple ceremony of he will be joining with the rest of the catechumen here, and he will receive. Others have gone through 3 years of time for preparation, but this man is immediately joining. And suppose that also is not possible, he is some other time he is coming. Okay, he came from somewhere else and he will be here for some years, and Easter time not possible for him to remain, and such a situation, some time of preparation can be given to him, and he can be given the sacraments of Christian initiation at any time, no problem. A simple rite is there, and for that the procedure of proper celebration will be baptism, confirmation and Eucharist in the single celebration are given simply. Okay, a simple celebration. And a second exception will be Christian initiation at the point of danger of death. Danger of death. Suppose the person is already preparing, okay, as a candidate, but in between he became seriously ill, and something exceptional situation has come. In such a situation, he can be given all the 3 sacraments. Okay, he can be given all the 3 sacraments in a simple manner. And in an emergency situation, need not go through any other procedure, but simply just pour water with the formula enough. Okay, pour water with the formula enough. Confirmation, if it possible to give. Otherwise, we can give up other 2. We can take for granted that he is a full-fledged Christian and he will be buried in the Christian cemetery. Okay, so danger of death, need not to go through all the procedures, but simple matter and form will do. Okay, danger of death. Then there is a third situation whereby a baptized person is prepared for preparing and catechized adults for confirmation and communion. Another exceptional situation. As a small kid, he has received baptism. Okay, but later on, never he was maybe for different reasons he could not go through the procedures of receiving confirmation or communion, but now they are adults. Okay, now they are adults. In such a situation, what to do? There is a rite provided within this OICA, or the Initiationis Christianae Adultorum, gives a particular rite of preparing the uncatechized adults for reception of confirmation and Eucharist. Okay, that also can be done in a rather grand scale. They can be allowed to join the catechumen while catechumen period is going on. They can be allowed to join for all this, but they have already received baptism. Therefore, they cannot be treated as catechumen because they are already Christians, but they are trained for confirmation and Eucharist, and they can learn all the catechetical process instructions and everything along with the catechumen. And when this same catechumen will be receiving the 3 sacraments of initiation, the uncatechized baptized adults could be given confirmation and Eucharist along with that party, or they can be given also separately. That one they can be given separately, the sacraments of confirmation and Eucharist, and there is an order prepared for them. The book Oika contains not only the ordinary celebration of Christian initiation of adults with all the stages, but it also contains 4 chapters dealing with these exceptional situations. Okay, these are the 3, and the 4th one is preparing the children for Christian initiation of adults. This is a special situation. Okay, rite of initiation of children of catechetical age. Children of catechetical age. Now, a special group, they cannot be considered as adults, they are neither children. Infant baptism cannot be given to them like that. Neither they are fully adults. In between group it is. To such a group, we can give all the 3 sacraments together. But we cannot treat them as we treat the elders. We cannot treat them as infants. Okay, we can prepare them for Christian initiation of adults, but the rest of the preparations will be, they will be joining with catechetical, this catechumen, or separately are given full catechism. Okay, all those things will be normal. One exceptional situation here is, if you have to give Christian initiation of adults, that means the 3 sacraments or even baptism alone, to a child who has reached catechetical age, that means he is able to study, he is able to understand. Okay, and he can be given catechism, he can be given instruction. Cannot be treated as adult, cannot be treated as a small kid. If such a person expresses his desire for receiving the sacraments of Christian initiation, you need a written permission from his parents. That is the only exception actually. Rest of ceremonies are same. Okay? But you need a written permission from his parents. Suppose now you are a boarding in charge. Okay? And in your boarding there are 100 children. Okay? During their 8th class, 9th class, 10th class, that means they are of sufficient age. Okay, they are deciding or they are desiring to receive, because they lived with you and now they want to enter into full Christian life. Okay, they expressed that one to their parents, and if the parents agree for that one with a written permission, okay, then you can proceed by giving them catechism and then put them through the sacraments of Christian initiation. You must make sure that permission of the parents is, parental consent is there. Otherwise you cannot do. If they are below 18 years, Okay, that is called as a childhood age, no? If they are minors, in simple language, minors but not kids, if they ask for baptism, okay, with the consent of the parents, you can give them baptism. Suppose parents are not receiving, if the whole family is there is no problem. The whole family is prepared and we can receive. Suppose only the children are asking, or if the parents are asking for the children but not for themselves, there are situations in such.
One parent accepts, one child asks. One parent agrees, father agrees, mother agrees.
Other doesn't agree. You cannot give.
Only one parent gives consent.
No, they have to. No. They have to. Both have to agree for that. Otherwise, you are creating a problem for them in the family.
And what about orphans, father? Those who are orphans, no parents.
See, orphans. Suppose they are majors, they have the right to decide. Okay. Minors, even if now you are looking after, you have an orphanage, okay, in your situation you have an orphanage, there are 50 orphans, okay, out of that, and you do not know who they are. That orphans may be Christians, or their parents might have been Christians, but they happen to be orphans now, not received sacraments of confirmation or Eucharist. They are only baptized. For them you can comfortably proceed, no problem. Suppose their parents were already Christians and they were practicing, but unfortunately before baptizing this person they died. Now he asks, as a rather grown up child, he is asking for baptism. There is no serious problem. Or his relatives, anybody is there, they are giving consent, there is no problem. Otherwise, the best thing is you wait till they become majors, to avoid all the calamities. Okay? Out of his free will, he is asking, and he is able to defend himself. Okay, such situations you can give, there is no problem. But if you foresee in some situations that others are waiting for a chance to catch of forcible conversions, that is a dangerous situation. Okay, be prudent not to get into forcible conversions situation, accusations, allegations. Okay, usually Catholic Church never go for forcible conversions today. There is a history for Catholic Church where either Christianity or sword, no two options, only one option. Either Christianity or sword, there was. But now today, Catholic Church never go for forcible conversions or anything of that sort.
Marriage certificate or area they are able to join in the seminary. Suppose I am a orphan child, so I have no parents, I don't know anybody of my blood relationship. So I want to become join in the seminary. So can we given immediate permission or follow all the certificates and
to join a seminary, you must be a Catholic, no? With all these sacraments. Otherwise you cannot join. So that question itself will be invalid. If you want to join a seminary, first of all you should be a major in this case, and then you should be able to take your decision. You should be in know of the sacraments and you have already practiced Catholic. Then only you can join. Otherwise, a unbaptized person, orphan, and he wants to become a seminarian, he wants to become a priest, then he will not be admitted.
after receiving the sacraments?
Yeah, after receiving all the sacraments, and you have nobody, okay, and you want to join the seminary, there is no hindrance. There is no hindrance. Only thing is that the parish priest or the one who is receiving you in the seminary should be satisfied that this person's upbringing, where you are being brought up, is it good enough to come up in faith and proclaim the faith. Okay, those things background will be studied. Okay, background will be studied. In our own congregation, in our own province, there are a few cases where we have received the parents both were Hindus. Okay, but with their permission, the child was baptized. And he lived full time in boarding, studied in the boardings, practiced all the religion, and when he finished his 10th class, he wanted to become a priest, and parents agreed for that one. So we have received him and we have ordained him, and he is happy now. So there is no problem with that one. Okay? But orphan's case is a bit different. Background has to be studied well. If he is able to live his Christian life and progress in life, why not he should be admitted for priesthood? But nothing to do with our Christian initiation now. Okay, we are dealing with the sacraments of Christian initiation, where a child of catechetical age seeks Christian initiation, but his parents might be belonging to some other religion. Okay, in that case, they must give you a written consent for the baptism of this child. Then you can give all the sacraments. Otherwise, you cannot give. That much only you have to make sure in this particular thing. Okay, these are exceptional situations. Usually, you may not find yourself in training this kind of situations. But in case you have to go through, please follow the book which gives the norms for conducting that kind of a situation. Okay, the OICA gives you rights for simple rite of initiation of adults, where you need not go through all the procedures. Then in danger of death, how to do it immediately, okay, without going through all the procedures and even without the ceremony, full ceremonies. And then uncatechized adults, how to prepare them for confirmation and Eucharist. There is a special rite for that one. And there is a rite for children of catechetical age. Christian initiation of the children of catechetical age. There is a rite. So please follow the book, liturgical book, and everything will be granted to you. Everything will be clear to you. Now we will see at last the rite of baptism of children. Child baptism, infant baptism. Okay. For infant baptism and adult baptism, practically there are no changes. The basic change is, in Christian initiation of adults, we give 3 sacraments. We prepare them for 3 sacraments, give also 3 sacraments. Whereas for infants, we give them only baptism alone. Okay? Here, anyway, they are not going through all the catechism. 3 years of catechism and nothing of that sort is required. But suitable preparation of the parents and godparents is required. Okay? For example, if they are not in no sufficient Christian faith in which these children are to be brought up, they can be given reminders and some kind of instruction can be given to the parents and godparents, prepare them well for the sacrament, and on an appointed day give baptism for the children. Finish with that one. Okay? Usually soon after birth, maybe 8 days, usually 8 days, no? 8th day or 21st day, baptisms are given. Okay? What is being said is, as soon as possible, okay, after some due preparation for the parents and godparents, the children are to be baptized. And the time of baptism anytime, because we cannot wait for Easter time only, no? Suppose they are born just near Easter time, we can wait for that moment. Otherwise, anytime we can give them baptism. But even then, it is said that baptism of children also is to be celebrated in the presence of the community. which means either on a Sunday or a feast day, when there is a bigger community present for the celebration of the Mass, in the context of that one, baptism is to be celebrated. Okay? So no big procedure for this one, and the rite of baptism can take place either inside the Mass or outside the Mass, whereas Christian initiation of adults cannot take place outside the Mass. See the difference, because Eucharist is involved there, no? But here, since it is only baptism alone is given, it can be administered either inside the Mass or outside the Mass. Both are possible, but it is encouraged that it be celebrated in the context of the Mass, where there is a bigger community on Sundays or some important days. Because whether he is a small one or big one, entering into a new group is an occasion of joy for the whole community. Okay? Therefore, whole community should be involved in the baptism of that child. Okay? Receiving them in their family. Okay, that way. Okay? And the procedure is usual. After the homily, till the homily it will be normal. During this particular Mass of baptism of children, the readings, if it is a Sunday, the Sunday readings are taken. Okay? And Sunday prayers are also taken. Okay? But during the general intercessions, you can make special prayers taken from the ritual. That can be done. But the readings and prayers are of Sunday. In some cases, this one, a reading could be taken from the ritual also. But Sunday prayers have to be used. Sunday prayers have to be used. Okay? Yes, brother.
I have seen now places particularly in France, after the celebration of the Holy Eucharist, they give baptism. Is it allowed?
That is why already I told you, baptism of children can be given either inside the Mass or outside the Mass, as part of the Mass or outside. Okay? After Mass that day or some other day in the evening, without any connection with the Mass, baptism can be given. Okay, can be given. But it is encouraged that baptism of children also is to be celebrated in the presence of a bigger community when they gather for a context of Mass. Okay, that is more encouraged, but it is not forbidden to give baptism outside the Mass. It is not forbidden. Okay, both are possible.
However, yesterday we had seen one point regarding baptism, that in the church, particular church, only one baptism per day. Means it can be a group or similar. If we have more than, like if we are having extra masses, can we give it 2-3 masses to sacrament of baptism if the number is more?
That is what is said is, what you are meaning is a very exceptional situation. No? See, all those who are born in a particular month, for example, now we are coming to the end of the month, no? October. Okay? All the children born in this month, put them together, the last Sunday of the month, celebrate on a grand scale baptism of all the children born in that month. That is better. That is what is said. Okay? Select one day in which all the recently born newborns are given baptism at a time. Okay? Whether inside the Mass or outside the Mass, so that we can avoid multiplication of celebrations in a single day. Okay? But your situation is,
because my parish, Bangalore, Vivekananda, which is right, so every second Sunday is baptism Sunday.
so it is determined. So knows that all those are born in that 2 Sundays, they will come for baptism at a stage.
We have in 3 masses. It is 7 o'clock in English. We have
Fine.
Then in Tamil.
Since you are in a that is the interesting situation of multicultured, multilingual communities. Okay, I understand that one because in St. Anthony Priory, I was also going for masses like that. 9 masses are there in 7 languages. Okay, so communities, the church is always full. All the 9 masses church is full. Okay, so people, the children belonging to one particular group, they come for mass only during that particular mass only, no? So let there be baptism, there is no serious problem. Or the parish can organize a particular day in which all the newly born children of all the languages can be baptized with a single language, common to all, common language. It depends on the situations. Okay, one thing we have to remember, what is encouraged by the church is as far as possible baptisms have to be taken place or to take place in the presence of a bigger community, not hide and seek like baptizing like that, but in the presence of a bigger community. When the community will be present, it is when they come for the mass. Okay, so when there is a bigger community presence, celebrate it. Not in all the churches there is 10 masses, no? Vivek Nagar is quite a different situation altogether. I was also going there for the neo-catechumenal masses, no? Where they will take only one big, this much thick bread, and all have to eat only from one bread, and 2 or 3 bottles of wine will be consecrated. All have to drink from the same cup. Okay, situations are quite different. And baptism of such a group is very interesting. It is okay. That is exceptional situations. Now, Janampeta. How many masses we have? Only one mass. In such a situation, all those are born in that month, in that same mass, if it is celebrated, when all are present, it will be a nice, good celebration, no? Instead of celebrating 3 baptism or 3 times in the same church, where there is no mass possible like that. So that is what is being said. Okay, Vivek Nagar context is quite different. Okay, quite different.
Sometimes parents other than children they get baptized.
Fine, I am also baptized like that. Whole family together, then there is no problem, no?
Procedure adult and children.
In such a situation, children are given only baptism and the parents are admitted for confirmation Eucharist also. What is the problem?
Even marriage.
I have blessed the marriage of the children, marriage of the parents along with the baptism of children. What can I do? Depend. How it the pastoral prudence determines the celebration. Okay? How to do? What you are said is correct. There are situations. Okay? In Syro Malabar Church, whether they are kids or adults, all the 3 sacraments are given together. Okay? Now, suppose those children in the Syro Malabar Church I am speaking, they are of catechetical age, 6, 7 years or 8 years age. Okay? They are given the communion also, just like parents are given communion along with the baptism and the confirmation Eucharist. Okay, baptism and confirmation anyway they are together for everybody. Okay, but then this first Eucharist, suppose they are grown up children, they are given also that one. Otherwise only baptism and confirmation is given to these children, and first communion, though officially given at that moment itself, later on a celebration is done. First communion celebration is done later on. But in the Latin rite, suppose there is a family with 2 children below 5 years age. Okay, 2 children 7 and above, and the parents. Okay, in such a situation, to the parents and these 2 children who are of above 7, they can be given all the 3 sacraments. Okay, and for these 2 kids who are below 5, give only baptism. Okay, in the same celebration. Anyway we are giving, we don't give them, we give them, finish. Work is over, no? So pastoral prudence and circumstances must be taken into account while administering the sacraments. So this infant baptism case, no big celebration of the catechumenate because parents are already Catholics. Okay, and then but certain amount of preparation for the parents is required. Then on an appointed day, all the children born in that particular month or so, giving baptism together in the presence of a bigger community will have a greater celebration value. Okay, only so much is being said. Otherwise the ceremony of baptism is one and the same. Suppose that baptism takes place on a weekday, okay, not on a Sunday but on a weekday, then the readings as well as the prayers for the mass, if there is mass, could be taken from the ritual. There is a mass to be celebrated when there are baptisms. If it is a Sunday, those prayers will not be used. Sunday prayers will be made use. But if it is some other day, ferial day, the prayers for the mass, that is the presidential prayers, no, the collect, then offertory prayer and communion prayer, okay, and preface also, such things can be taken from the ritual. If it is on ordinary day, Sunday, then Sunday prayers have to be recited. Okay, that is one rule. Then blessing of water is normal, renunciation is normal, profession of faith is normal, intercessory prayers are normal, all those things are there. But on behalf of, at the moment of baptism, it is the candidates themselves declaring their faith, answering, do you renounce? Yes, I renounce. Do you believe? Yes, I believe. Okay, the candidates themselves are declaring. But in the case of infant baptism, the parents and godparents declare the faith and renounce on behalf of the children and promise to bring up the children in Christian faith. Okay. And then any other change? No other changes there. As usual, everything will take place. Now in this child baptism, infant baptism, since there is no confirmation, anointing with chrism is compulsory. Okay, after baptism, the neophyte is anointed with chrism, thus incorporating him into Christ, who is the priest, the prophet and the king. Okay. Post-baptismal anointing cannot be avoided in this particular case. In the case of adults, if there is a confirmation immediately, then that is omitted. But here, since there is no confirmation, it should be done. Okay. Any other doubts in this?
Confirmation and Eucharist, like in extraordinary cases, otherly able children, otherly able children like handicapped children, those kind of children. So for them also we have certain exceptions.
We have already said about preparing the uncatechized adults for confirmation and Eucharist. They may be orphans or they may be handicapped or whatever it is. It's a different question altogether. Okay. But in the case of children, those have already received baptism but not received confirmation and Eucharist, when that age comes, okay, you prepare them in a normal way. The catechism is given to them and appointed time bishop is being called for giving confirmation, because ordinary minister of confirmation is the bishop. Okay, so your doubts will be clarified. With that we will close proper classes. Okay, no? So for time being, your doubt of confirmation, there is a ritual properly for confirmation itself, and usual minister is the bishop. Okay. If it is confirmation is done outside the celebration of Christian initiation of adults, okay, there priest cannot take freedom to give confirmation. Okay, there he needs written delegation by the bishop. Whereas in a Christian initiation of adult situation, he is automatically delegated. So ordinary minister of confirmation remains the bishop. That is the usual case. Okay. In such extraordinary situations where a baptized person has to be confirmed later on, bishop will be asked to come for that such a celebration, and it will be a grand celebration of many people to be confirmed together. Only in such a situation we will be inviting the bishop and doing. When it is possible only we will do organize such elements. Otherwise, Christian initiation of adults, we will give confirmation. If it is small children, we give only baptism. Okay, that is a normal situation. So tomorrow we will, with the first hour, we will close the class. Get ready with all your questions. Don't start your priestly life with doubts, especially with regard to liturgy. It is an important part of your priestly life, and you are being ordained specifically for that purpose. All other works a priest can do as well as anybody else can do, but sacramental celebrations, they are specifically given, faculties given to the priests to do. Therefore, since it is our specific work, we must know it well and we must execute it also well. Don't go with doubts. All your questions are welcome. I will not be offended by any of your questions. Anybody ask any question. But since this funny thing is there, where not only your classmates but their own priests also may be watching. Okay? Therefore, ask questions pertaining to the subject. Valid question, not to waste the time, because suppose there is no like this recording and only you are present there, you can ask what you want and we can have little fun, but since this is there, we cannot do like that. Others are watching, so we have to be careful. Okay, institution's reputation is at stake. We have to be careful with all these things. You ask whatever you want, prepare your questions and come tomorrow. Okay, now.